So after a whole year of being stuck indoors thanks to the pandemic, one of my favourite places that you can go to meet women is finally back. It's coffee shops. In this short video, I'm going to be teaching you some crucial steps for how you can get better at approaching women in coffee shops. And I also would love you to let me know, have you ever approached a woman in a coffee shop? And if so, how did it go? I'm dating coach Hayley Quinn, and for over 10 years, I've helped men and women to improve their dating lives. And something I'm really passionate about is getting you back into meeting people in real life. So if you're keen to expand your dating horizons beyond dating apps and learn to meet women more in real life, watch this short video tutorial for how you can approach a woman in a coffee shop. So first of all, if you do approach a woman in a coffee shop, you're probably going to feel pretty weird if you go to a coffee shop and you're like, I am here to meet the ladies. Instead, this should really just be part of your everyday life. So if you are popping into a coffee shop to get a coffee, or you want to choose to work there instead of working from home, or you could just go to read your book, but grab a seat and be in a public space where you have the opportunity to meet people, that's a better mindset to have. It's going to put way less pressure on you. So really, these tips are just about, rather than you going out and sitting there waiting to meet a woman in a coffee shop all day, it's about how can you look out for opportunities in your everyday life where you can meet and connect with more women. So how do you get the conversation started with a woman that you see in a coffee shop? Well, there's a few different ways that you can do this, and it usually depends about what she's doing and where she's sitting at that moment in time. If she's sitting down at a table nearby to you, you may want to consider commenting on something that she's doing or something that you can both see in order to start the conversation. If you turn to her and just were like, hey, I just wanted to say, you look really cute, that might feel a bit jarring. It might feel like too much, especially considering she's sat down, she's got her coffee. If she's not receptive, that might feel slightly awkward. That's why I really love using observations as a way that you can get the conversation started. It's a nice balance where you say something that shows her that you couldn't have said that comment to anybody else, but it's not coming on so strong that if she's not open to engaging in the conversation, that anybody's going to feel awkward. So a phrase I would really love you to use is, I like how you are. So it could be, excuse me, I just had to say, I like how you're multitasking. So you can say that perhaps if she's got a laptop and her tablet and her phone out in front of her. You could say, I like how you're reading a real book if she's sat there with an old-fashioned paperback. You could say, I like how focused you seem, or I like how you're typing furiously if she's working away at her laptop. So learning to use observations is a great way to create a compliment that is the right balance of being personal to her, so she knows you couldn't have possibly said that to anybody else that day, but also not coming on so strong that it's going to create awkwardness in an everyday environment where she's just hanging out and doing her work or grabbing a coffee or catching up with a friend. Remember, you don't know what her situation is. So you really, by using an observation, all you're doing is giving her the opportunity to participate in a conversation if she wants. If she sends a strong signal that she doesn't want to participate in that conversation by turning away or only giving you a very short answer, that's cool. Other people will be really open to it, but that's a good indicator for you to let that conversation go. The second place where you may want to start a conversation with a woman in a coffee shop is going to be in the queue. And again, this could all come down to you making an off-the-cuff comment about something that's happening between you. Now, you might be thinking, Hayley, how do I come up with that on the spur of the moment? I'm going to be feeling stressed and nervous about talking to this woman, so what do I do? Well, the good news is, if you go to coffee shops regularly and you have your I am open to meeting new people hat on, you will realize that there's really only a kind of a small amount of different variables and things that can happen. So perhaps the comments you use are going to be ones that are going to come up time and time again. It could be that you say to her, hey, oh man, you just stole my coffee order. Or, I like how specific your coffee order is. Or, oh, it's good that you got one of those cookies. I always stock up on those every time they come into stock. So again, it's not a forceful comment or question. All you're doing is observing something that both of you are participating in and giving her the opportunity to join in the conversation. The third scenario where you may want to start talking to a woman in a coffee shop is a woman who is the barista, so somebody who is actually serving you that coffee. Now, of course, we have to be extra careful here because she is working, she's got a job to do, she may not be in the right frame of mind to meet someone. So again, we're going to just start by trying to open up a conversation with her and seeing if she's open to having a more personal conversation within that environment. So 2 ways you can do this. You can comment again on something that she's done. So you could say, oh, I really like the little shape you made on my coffee today. You could also comment on something about her mood. One of my favorite ways to begin a conversation with someone who's working is simply to say, I really like how you're smiling despite the fact that you're working on a Saturday afternoon. So these compliments, again, they're genuine, they're personal, they're focused on something that's happening in the moment, but they're not forceful. What you're looking for really is for a woman at that stage to light up, make eye contact with you, and show enthusiasm to join in the conversation. Now you might be thinking, well, that's all really good, but what do I say next? Well, luckily there's a few solid ways you can continue the conversation. And the good news is as well, you don't necessarily have to achieve everything here in one conversation. If this is your local coffee shop, you see the same people time and time again, you can reconnect with them. Also, if you get initially a positive response to that first observation you say, perhaps you can go back, focus on your work or your book, and then restart the conversation later on. So don't feel pressure to sit there, especially with someone who's actually working and trying to have a 5 to 10 minute conversation right off the bat. This can actually just be chunked down into smaller conversations, which will still give you that sense of connection. When it comes to carrying on the conversation, there's a few simple routes you can go down. First of all, you can offer your name. This is a really good way to check out how she's feeling in that interaction. If she's relatively comfortable, she's going to offer you her name in return. If she doesn't, that's a pretty clear indicator there that she's just not feeling comfortable enough to talk to you right now, and it's better to let it go. So offering the name can be a good way to show an intention to continue the conversation, and it can also provide you with a really helpful feedback loop as to how comfortable she is. And of course, if you want more and specific detailed advice on how you can be confident and improve your conversation skills with women, I'd highly recommend you enroll in my mini course. It's free. Just head over to hayleyquinn.com/unite. The link is below this video. So a couple of other ideas for how you can continue the conversation. First of all, you can share some information about yourself. Remember, when she meets you in a coffee shop, it's not like a dating app. She doesn't actually have any information on you whatsoever. So in order to build trust with her, it can be really helpful for you to share some information about yourself. Maybe just let her know what you're up to that day. You could say, I don't know about you, but this is like becoming my local coffee shop. Whenever I fancy getting a break from my apartment, I come and work here. So even though that sounds very simple, it lets her know some key information. It lets her know you're working and perhaps creates curiosity for her to ask what you do. It lets her know that you live nearby because it's your local coffee shop, and it lets her know what you're up to that day. All of these things will help to combat that feeling of stranger danger and will allow her to feel more trust towards you. The final thing that you can do to simply carry on the conversation is to make a little guess about what she's up to that day. So it can say, oh, it looks like you're in the middle of a big work project. So instead of going for that default question of what are you up to today, try just making a guess based again on something you observe about her. Of course, there's so much more I could tell you about conversation skills, but to get more information on that, I'd highly recommend you check out the other videos on my channel. And hopefully this has given you a good start for how you can start to meet women in real life again, particularly in coffee shops.